Welcome back, 2023 NXL Lone Star Major. We're here in Round Rock, Texas, a little outside of Austin. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Rich Telford. Lots of compelling narratives during the 2023 season. One of them is the Brooklyn Bears, bringing back the OG squad they started with down in the divisions years ago, taking 8th place at the first event. Last year they played as Seattle Thunder. What a story it was. A merger of the Bears and Thunder, but this year they're back to the Brooklyn Bears. They picked up Frank Antetomaso coming over from Aftermath, as he was one of their OG players. But man, their starting lineup, Rich, has gotten very potent. They're taking on the Mlkings here in their first game. Mlkings also, they're on a bit of a rebuild. You know, they lost some bodies. They lost Connor Kelly to Houston Heat. They lost Louis Betancourt to Energy Elite. So picking up some new guys with less experience. We'll see how they do here. Favorite probably going to be the Bears. Also in this set, Columbus Level and the Los Angeles Ironmen, and both those teams underperformed at the first event. Columbus Level 3rd place last year, best they ever did, looking pretty solid, but probably the most inconsistent team in the game right now, as they did not have a great end to 2022, sitting at 16th place after their finish at the first event. Ironman right behind them at 17th, Rich, but going through a big rebuild, bringing the legendary coach Shane Pestana back in to help guide the squad and picking up some familiar faces but new to the Shield. We'll see how they do here in day one. What do you think about this matchup, though, Bears-Kings?
I think the Bears are going to play this field really, really well. I think that the Bears, when they play a slower type field and they have really good control, you're going to see a guy in each one of those cans, Matt, and a guy in that tower, and probably a guy in that wedge playing really, really good control team paintball. And that's going to be tough for the Kings if they can't make if they don't get one or two guys on really big offensive kicks, right? And they lost Betancourt, which is their big offensive weapon. So it'll be interesting to see who for the Kings can step up and play aggressively. Because if they try to go out and play a slow, methodical game against the Bears, that's their strength, and they're probably going to lose.
Looks like Sakaguchi getting a start.
Gooch.
Yeah, Sakaguchi, who was with Thunder last year, decided to stay with the Bears, and he has quite the trip, man. He's the best player, I think, ever to come out of the state of Hawaii, and that's a long trip for practice, but he loves it, loves the game, and getting the start here. Did play really solid at that first event. The brothers, the Altimore brothers, man, they've been lights out. You know, Joey Altimore plays the Snake, and his brother Robbie, and man, they've been awesome. Sester had some really good looks for him at the first event, and looked for a potential big event out of Frank Antetomaso.
Yeah, if he can get penetration on that D side, he can feast over there, but he's got to get past that big cut. So it'll be interesting to see if he tries to go to the corner and work his way up, or if he just tries to take a big bite on the break here. I'm guessing he's going to hold up a little short. Yeah, Frank just goes to the can there. Aftermath losing their first player like 2 steps out of the box. I mean, Bears, excuse me. Oh, and now Bears lose the second player with Greg getting shot trying to fill that wedge.
What a great break for the Mlkings. They get Carter Donaldson all the way into Snake 2 off the break, and they chew up 3 bodies essentially off the break. 2 immediately, and then 1 right after that. It's a 5-on-2 right now, Rich.
Mlkings with 2 bodies in the Snake. I don't think that, again, we talked about the vision being tough out here. I don't think the Kings knows that it's a 5-on-2 yet, Matt. They're certainly playing like they don't know it's a 5-on-2, but now they're getting it. They're like, whoa, do we shoot that many people that fast? A really, really good breakout there for the Kings. One of the best breakouts we've seen so far.
Donaldson, Navarro, Kyle Berry, Mingo Kappas, and LJ Woodley out there just dominant in this first point.
They were out here for a long time yesterday, really dialing in that breakout shot, and it worked. They got the first kill on the break on Snake side, like 2 steps after the box. They caught Greg immediately filling from the center into the wedge, and then they caught Frank out there trying to make a secondary. So really, really good laning and then controlling the lanes after the break.
That's a head scratcher here for the Brooklyn Bears.
Yeah, they're like, hey, that's what we were supposed to do, guys. What the hell?
That's like, well, we did not drop it that way in the meeting last night.
Wasn't that our game plan? Wasn't that our game plan, guys?
It's the one where you walk back in the pits big. What just happened?
What did you guys do? Because you guys did something wrong out there for sure.
There's GJ Sakaguchi here on your screen. Jumping into point number 1 right now. Columbus Level in the green and black from the blue side. Los Angeles Ironmen in the red and black from the red side to start out. These teams switch sides. When points are scored, they stay on the same side if there is a no point. Danny Schonauer getting into Snake 1. Key attacker for Columbus Level, especially on a field with a Snake like this. Got to have Danny Schonauer have a good event. They kind of trap the Ironmen, see if Nick Sloviak is able to get out wide.
If Nick's hit, he's going to have a penalty because he got shot in the back center and field 4. The referee is calling to pull him out from the sidelines. Nick is not leaving. He's really going to get lucky if he doesn't get a penalty here. Wow. Anybody else in that league, I think, gets a penalty there.
Everybody loves Nick.
Yeah. How can you not? Nicest guy in the paintball in the world. So if Danny just goes forward here, Matt, and goes to the 50, he can wrap and shoot the tower and shoot the home But when he's sitting in the snake 2 cut looking inside, it's really hard for him to get pressure on either one of those spots. He's got to go outside to that 50 snake.
Yeah, tough thing for Level is they lost one of their best players from last season, Corwin Weber, to an ACL tear beginning of the year. So they might get him back for World Cup, but most likely they will be without one of their best guys for 2023. But they picked
up Damian.
I was going to say, took the words right out of my mouth. They picked up Damian Ryan, former All-Star for Los Angeles Infamous, taking him out of a quasi-retirement.
Yeah, I love him.
He was playing in divisions, but he played really well in the first event.
He's a good player. I love the way he's playing that wing, too. Level understands that the wing is the spot that stops the attack on the snake side. They go in there to protect Danny and Damian now. Those 2 spots can control this side of the field. They got the 3rd guy behind him in that little temple there, the snake insert. That's the 3 spots that you want over here, Matt. You want either that snake insert or the can, the wing, and in any spot here in the snake, preferably the 50. That's the little triangle of death over here on the snake side.
Well, Level is loading up bodies here from the snake side, from the tower essentially over to the snake side. 4 bodies this way, 1 towards the D side. 5 on 4 currently here in favor of Columbus Level.
And my question to myself, and I would ask you the same question going into this first point, is how are the Ironmen going to play this field? Traditionally, the Ironmen are an aggressive team. Traditionally, they want to be the most aggressive team, and they want to win through aggression. And they've kind of just gone out here, split the field, and not made any moves. Now it's a 3-on-4 advantage for Level.
It was for a second. They did get the shot. They got the shot on Hollowell, but then 2 bodies getting peeled off here. Just 2 bodies left on the field for the Ironmen, and they are. I mean, at least they have the field spread. But not looking really good right now for the LA Ironmen as Columbus Level starting to push the issue up on that D side, getting to the 50-yard line over there.
Well, I got to be honest, I don't like the fact that the Ironman player never tried to get in the snake and now is running backwards away from the snake. Like
he was thinking about it. They lost Nick, and then when he was thinking about it is when they lost those 2 bodies. So they get the shot on Hughes, just 1 body left alive to worry about. It's Patty Gleason as the lone body. He ends up getting the start, and he's going to try to do a desperation run. Nothing Patty could do in that situation. So with the Ironmen, I agree, right? So how are they going to? They have aggressive guys on the field. When you got Shane Pestana and Mike Paxson coaching the team, they're going to be pushing that. That's the characteristic of that team for going on 30 years now. And they have the personnel for it. But with the rebuild, it was Shane and Mike. They're essentially asking these guys, like, look, we got a bunch of you here. We're not going to probably keep this many dudes on the roster for the entire season, but we need a core 7 or 8. Yep. Who's that going to be? That's not really up to us. No. That's not up to Mike and Shane. That's up to the players. And you earn that. You earn that right to get the starting.
And that's how a healthy team organizes and produces good players, right? And that's the same thing we're trying to do on New York. In the past, it was like, hey, this guy plays just because he's this guy. And now it's like, whoever's playing the best, they play.
Are you running a club or are you running a pro paintball team?
Thank you, Matt.
There's a difference.
Thank you,
If you want to run a club, cool. That's awesome. There's lots of places to play paintball.
Go have fun.
The pro division is not one of them.
Running and shooting to the snake are the Mlkings. Gets in there live, but they lose the support player behind him. 4-on-4 breakout here as Sakaguchi takes a walk for the Bears. So 4-on-4, secondarying from the tower into the wing here, snake side. Probably the strongest defensive positions on the snake side. And Bears have 2 out on the snake side. Again, when you go to that wing mat and there's no one snake side for the Kings, it gets really hard to get out of that.
We'll see if the Brooklyn Bears can answer as they get a body out into D2. He might be taking the walk, though, and it looks like he is. So
3-on-4.
Yeah, 3-on-4 situation right now in favor of the Mlkings.
And Bears with no one on that D side, Matty, and that gets a little scary when there's nobody over there. But at the same token, Kings with nobody snake side except for the snake 1.
They got Kyle Berry and Mingo Kappas pushing up on the D side right now. And then they have a body in the insert bunker snake side. He's looking inside, though, and they do let the Brooklyn Bears here get into the snake. So he's going to crawl all the way to the 50-yard line.
And you really can't stop him, Matty, from getting to that 50, but you can stop him from wrapping to from that 50 from that wing. They can kind of sneak in there if they curl low and inside on the beam, but once they get there, they have a hard time wrapping if that wing is there on them.
Joey Altimore in the snake currently for the Brooklyn Bears. He's got a body in front of him, outside wide, he's off screen, and then you see that wedge who's totally focused on trying to keep Joey in his spot here, not let him get crazy. Joey does like to attack.
Bears are doing something a little different. They've got that wing that most people play snake side, and they've got a dedicated D side. And I don't know if that's just because the Kings are pushing. Oh,
that's a little bit. That's tough death there for Joey.
Oh, and they drop Bears drop another guy.
He has a desperation run outside wide, didn't make it.
And Mlkings are looking good here, man.
Yeah, Mlkings look tightened up right now through 2 points.
Yeah, I called this one 100% wrong. I really felt like the Bears were going to be a really strong team on this layout, and I thought that Kings would struggle a little bit just because the differences stylistically. Like, because what we were talking about the Ironmen, when you have an aggressive team and aggressive style, and then you get to a slow playing field, you're like, do we try to impose our will on this field, or do we change our style to match up with the field?
For sure. This is what have you done for me lately, sport. But but I agree with your pick, because if you look at how the Bears took that 8th place, they beat the Mlkings by 4. At the first event.
Yeah.
Then they beat Level by 1. They did lose to Notorious, and they lost to Impact, but they squeaked in, made it in the wild card round. They beat Energy Elite by 1, and then lost to Impact by 4. So, but if you look at how the Mlkings did at the first event, it wasn't, just they didn't have the same performance. They went 2-2, but they went 2-2 with a -4, and then they lost to the Bears. So. But hey, again, what have you done for me lately? As it stands right in this second here, coming into point number 2, Columbus Level now taking the walk. The Ironmen
5-on-3, Matt.
In a real good spot here. They get the body outside wide, getting Nita into the insert bunker. Snake side, he's got, I think that's Al Fernandez right behind him. So does look like different guys getting spins out here again with Shane Pestana, Mike Paxton, Nicky McEvers. They're just asking, okay, who's it going to be, right? Who are our guys? So they're going to get some spins and see who performs.
And what you said earlier, Matt, from like a coaching perspective of what you want from your players is there's 5 spots out there in a game plan, right? And you don't care which player is in those 5 spots. You just your job as a coach is to make sure the best guy who's been playing that position is in there the most spins, right?
Yeah. I mean, you got to, again, when they're in the situation, you got to give these guys chances, and it looks like another body coming off right now for Columbus Level.
2-on-5 Ironman advantage here. They probably want to switch to offense now. Start pushing down this field. As we say that, they enter the snake. Snake 1 going to snake 2.
Yeah, Nita improving his positions, not looking good right now. Damian Ryan just turreting over the top, popping the top, and just going to stay up there until somebody tries to put him back in. Or he has to load, which he does. Askin right beside him.
That's one of those things that really, really good players do, right? Like, you don't think in a 2-on-5 you're going to stand over the top of the snake and shoot. But if you can get away with it, your vision is great, your shot is that much better, and you have that much more chance to do something.
He's reading the pressure. No one was shooting over the top of that spot. He does finally get dinked out of there, but there's not much he can do in that spot, especially with his teammate is right beside him. So that's worst case scenario when you're looking at this situation. And the Ironmen are going to clean this one up and clean it up nicely. So, yeah, solid point there for the Ironmen. Did their damage early, won a couple gunfights, and yeah, getting some guys some spins. Treegarth getting a spin, Nita getting a spin, Corey Field getting a spin.
A much better point for the Ironmen. But what I would like to see, and I'm assuming their coaches would like to see, is once they get those first 2 kills in the break and it's a 5-on-3, a little more emphasis on dropping the hammer and controlling a little bit better.
Hey, Corey, there we go, baby.
Let's listen in here at the pits. LA Ironmen. Also, thank you for joining us on YouTube and Facebook. Make sure to head on over to Go Sports and watch this crazy and chaotic pro paintball battle that will be going down all weekend long here in Round Rock, a little outside of Austin, Texas, for event number 2, the Lone Star Major. We need all the support we can get here, trying to push paintball to another level. That is our mission, but we need your help to do it. All right, next point for the Bears and the Mlkings. Ooh, Carter Donaldson asking for a check as we see our eye in the sky on the breakout right now. Looks like a 5-on-5 break of Donaldson is clean. He is. They also filter a body out behind him to get to the spot bunker. Spot Insurance here, sponsor for the NXL. And they're going to get Kyle Berry at wide. Nice repositions. Getting up the field a bit here for the Mlkings.
Solid 5-on-5.
Bears taking a pretty big bite early on the D side here, Rich, getting all the way to D4 pretty quick.
Yeah, Bears losing their first player out of the attack position on the snake side, so 4-on-5 advantage for the Kings. Both teams having 3 or 4 players snake side, 1 player Derea side. Bears the first team to lose one of those players. Bears has a player in that wedge playing defensively as he loses the player behind him, but he's keeping that whole side locked down from that wedge. Unfortunately, the guy behind him draws a penalty. I think it's a 2-on-5 now, Matt.
Yeah,
2-on-5 Mlkings advantage.
Bears grinding the gears a bit right now here early on in the tournament.
And I heard they had a really good practice too, where they were, like X Factor practice and like winning the breakouts pretty consistently. Oh, Mlkings just got a hard bounce or a shot there in that spot can. Looks like he's okay. Looks like he's clean. Oh, Mlkings do lose their attacker there in the wing. Oh, Bears lose another body. So I believe it's a 1-on-4 advantage for the Kings, but the Bears are up to the 50 on that D side, Matt. There's a really, really nasty bounce shot there, too.
Oh, he did get a shot on Kyle, but then ended up getting taken out by Kappas.
Yeah. Well, also, the Snake 1 can bounce it off the brick behind him and directly drive into that 50.
Yeah, nice job by Mingo over there. Good job by Donaldson. And man, the Mlkings look pretty good here, Rich.
Yeah, not messing around, bro. Not messing around.
Looking pretty good early. Let's see if they can keep it up. It'd be really good for the Mlkings to put up a big score here against the Bears. It's a bracket with New York Extreme, Brooklyn Bears, Mlkings, Columbus Level, and the LA Ironmen, bracket D.
So I think it's the hardest bracket. I looked at all the teams and all the stats, and there's some things that would lead people to believe that maybe the first and second division were the hardest. But if you really look at the finite details, it's that bracket D. I mean, it's a tough one.
Chris Odom from the NFL, big paintball guy, man, loves the game. He's actually helping the Mlkings out. He's running their pits. And there's Charlie Givens, paintball patron, owner and coach of the team, and they're looking really good here. Jumping back into this one, much closer in this match. Ironman going to be losing, I think that's Tregarth, and trying to get out wide.
Yeah, he did a really weird, he went really, really deep and crawled in, and somebody just caught him over the top there, I think, Matty. So Level with a big advantage here, Matty, because they've got 3 bodies outside containing the Ironman, and it's going to be really hard because the guy in the wing right there, Matt, that's wrapping, can completely keep the can from going into the snake insert. Ooh, but
they lose Danny.
That's going to hurt. 4-on-4 here, Matty. First attacker from both teams on the snake side have been eliminated.
When you're playing Level and you can shoot Danny Schonauer, it makes it a lot easier.
Pretty good. So, and contrasting styles here. Level's got the guy in the control, that center tower there, Matt, locking down the Dorito side. The Ironmen have the same guy locking down the snake side, so just different looks and different ideas on what's important out there.
Yeah, neither team with the lead. Neither team with an advantage. It's 4-on-4, so just kind of feeling each other out right now.
Yeah, Ironmen are using that tower over on the Dorito side, and that's one of those bunkers that I didn't see almost any teams playing, other than just like a transitional bunker. So interesting to see that Ironmen are playing this differently in those 2 tower positions than everybody else. If they win, they're going to look like geniuses.
Looking at Columbus Level here on your screen. Yep. Wedge towards the snake side, pop the top for a sec, and then establishing the lane, trying to keep the Ironmen out of the snake. Ironmen don't look like they want to go there.
No.
They're just posted up. They're also shooting lanes, so this could be a long point.
I was just going to say, this has got the earmarks of one of those longer, it's 1-to-1. Whoever wins this point, especially if it's a long one, is going to have a big advantage. Big move over there on the Ironmen up to the Dorito 3 or 4.
Yeah, both teams have pretty good field progression. Ironman a little bit better, though, with that move now into D4. Level at D3.
Yeah. Both teams are struggling, though, in the sense that they don't have anyone in a... Okay, as I say, that Level gets outside with Damian Ryan to the Snake 1.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Nice timing because there's 2 guns this way. So nice timing for Damian Ryan to get out through those guns.
Yeah. There's 2 guns on him, but the tower really can't see him. He can only blind shoot it, so it was just the 1 gun, his mirror, that he had to beat. Now it'll be interesting to see if he's been playing much time, because he's on the outside wrap to go forward, and he forces it in there, but he could have easily just gone inside and crawled in as well. Damian Ryan now, Snake 1 looking in.
Patty Gleason in a good spot for the Ironman, but he's by himself over there, I think, into D4. And now Damian Ryan's worked himself into Snake 2. Ironman are going to...
Good reposition for the Ironman, going from the tower into the wing. Now the wing can stop Damian from wrapping that 50.
Yeah, that's a good reaction there. That's the move he needed to make out of that tower. Ooh, looks like Level going to get eaten up out of D3, so...
Some teams understand this wedge here pretty well on the snake side and how it controls the side, and some teams don't really get it. Again, Level and just better positions here, Matt. Really got a lot of control over here. They got 3 guys within 10 feet of each other, all talking to each other, all working together. Ironman a little bit more spread out with Snake 1, the Snake wing, the tower on the Dorito side, now losing their 4th attacker Dorito side, so 3-on-4 advantage here for Level. Ironman in Snake 1, the Snake wedge, and Dorito. Level with 2 in the wing. Damian Ryan in the Snake 2.
Yeah, Patty taking the walk here for the Ironman. It's getting interesting here. Doubling up the wedge for Level. Good communication for both squads, though.
Yeah. And again, these longer, slower points really help with that, right? If it's a long, slow point, you better be talking. Just trying to figure out. And again, I'm not criticizing the Ironman here, but I would like to see their snake guy, you know, whether it's the first guy or the second guy, at least try to get in the snake and try to go forward and try to draw some guns. Because if your attacker on the snake side is doing what he's doing, which is just playing defensive, it gets really easy for the other team to push down there and put a lot of pressure across.
Well, Keith DeVitt also taking the walk, so a couple deaths for the Ironmen have given the advantage in this tie ball game in this long point with 6:25 to go to Columbus level. They're trying to close. They're looking at 2 bodies in front of them. See if they can get it done.
Yeah, so I think what's going to happen a lot here, Matty, is we're going to end up, a lot of these points are going to go island ball, right? Where you have one guy on one side of the field, and Keith DeWitt was that guy at this point. And if Keith DeWitt understands that, hey, I just have to stay alive over here, right? It's a 4-on-3.
Tie
I've got
game.
2 guys on the other side of the field. I've just got to stay alive. I don't have to shoot anybody, but if I die here, we're going to lose this point.
Yeah, take it if they're going to give it to you.
Yeah.
You don't want to force too much.
No.
Don't be in too many reckless gunfights. But, yeah, and I think we're going to see, because this field is playing a little slower, we are going to see a lot of close games out here. So
A lot of island ball where you have 2 on one side, 1 on the other, and nobody really knows what the other tape is doing. And whoever can communicate and play the whole field the best.
Damian moving up
Nice.
to 50 now.
And now that's where the wing comes in play. Now the wing can keep him from going forward.
I mean, ideally, Level needs to close from that D side. There's no one in front of him over there.
Yeah.
Damian's got a body in front of him. They are going to get the shot inside, though. That leaves just Hughes out here.
I think Boyum taking the walk there from the wing.
Yeah, Jordan taking the walk. Just Clay Hughes. Little tactical retreat. I don't think Damian saw it.
Damian might have just got a hard, but he just shot Damian. That was a great move from Hughes.
Yeah, but they still had the guns up on him, and Lemon was able to get that shot in on Hughes. It was either Askren or Lemon. Regardless, still 2 bodies left alive. This is not 10-man. Doesn't matter how many bodies you win with. It's all about getting that point, hitting that buzzer.
So when New York Extreme went and played the ISCPL 10-man event just for fun, you know, also to have fun, learn a little bit about paintball. They're like, "What do you mean? Like you get points for live bodies?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, you get points for life. Stay alive if you can." Okay, well, I didn't know. I'm like, "How do you not know that?" It was a blast. Bo brought us all out. We had so much fun.
The Pro DNA Open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
Did you play?
No. I was thinking about it, but not in good enough shape yet.
Yeah, how's your back and knees and ankles, and how's all of it holding up?
That's all better than the rest of the stuff. Yeah.
In the pits right now, Coach Doviak, owner Dave Pando, talking to Lemon.
Bears have to do something here, Matt.
Yeah, it's do or die time right now for the Brooklyn Bears because there's still 11 minutes left to go. The Bears cannot take a big negative number here, man. They really got to worry about spread.
Well, and they did a terrible breakout, in my opinion, because they put nobody snake side, and Connor is already in the snake, wrapping from snake 1, and now the Bears will never be able to get out of this way. If the Mlkings can fill the wing, and Donaldson and the wing can keep the Bears from coming into the snake side as the Bears lose their first attacker snake side. Yeah, I just don't like the
Bears are just, sorry to interrupt, Rich, but the offense is just non-existent for the Bears right now on the snake side.
And the defense sucks. Like, they're not in good defensive positions. You know, I'm not saying this sucks, but they're not putting themselves in position.
Not making the shots.
Where they could win if they were in defense, right?
Yeah.
Can't play defense from inside the pocket.
The Mlkings look dialed. They really do.
They sure do. Spent a lot of time out here walking the fields yesterday, and they've been spending a lot of weekends together practicing.
No,
penalty on second beach out of the back center. Got barrel shot. That's mostly just unlucky if you get caught on a barrel shot, and then you get a buddy pulled too. That's like double unlucky.
Well, they concede the point here, and the Mlkings are putting up a big number against the Brooklyn Bears. Would be an upset victory based on what we've seen recently. If the Kings could get this win and also a win, I mean, they're pitching a shutout right now, looking about as good as you can look right now.
Yeah, and I think it's partially because they're playing really, really well, and I think it's partially because the Bears might not understand how to play this field, or it might not have the plans that they need.
But which is peculiar because they played Houston Heat and can't remember the other X Factor. So you can't really get 2 better teams to practice against. And they were feeling good. I talked to them. They were pretty hyped on this one, and they look really flat right now.
And I expected them to be like the kind of the tough team in the bracket to worry about because they play such good, consistent paintball. And when you have a team that plays good, consistent paintball, you can't go out. You have to go out and beat them. You can't just go out and play paintball.
And this is a standard field. This is not a field with a bunch of mystery out here.
I like this better for the Ironmen. They take the snake on the break, get in there live. They shoot one, so Danny takes the walk. 4-on-5 advantage here for the Ironmen.
Big kill. They do let Level slip into D4. Ooh, another body coming off.
Yeah,
there's no snake side at all. Damian Ryan also.
The wing again shoots that guy, Matt. The wing shoots that yellow can there. And now that wing can control, and no one can fill it onto the snake side of the field.
It's that Spot Can Insurance Company. providing insurance here for the players. This is new for this season. Big shout out to them. So rolling the dice over there after the 2 deaths. Need to make something happen, but running into a gun. So good zone control here for the Ironmen. Try to tie this one up with 4:20 left to go. And if you're joining us on Facebook and YouTube, please head on over to Go Sports.
Level
to watch the rest of this event.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Level start in the back center of that center tower in a 4-on-2, Matty. They might as well just concede this point, start over. Here comes the move.
Going to come up, get the shot on Askren, and here comes the run through to finish.
William dropping the hammer there.
Yeah, lots of new faces here on the Ironmen this season, but names we're familiar with. You know, Jordan and Dylan Boyum coming over from DMG, getting Corey Field coming over from Thunder. Keith DeVitt and Kyle were on the squad last year with Nita as well, too. They got Chris Treegarth in last season as well. He's a SoCal legend, used to play with the Hitmen, Sonny Lopez's boys back in the day. He also led Long Beach State to a college championship with a broken hand one year.
LBC,
like 100
baby.
points in one weekend. He's a
I remember that.
So, yeah, it's different looks, and they answer right there.
Speaking of LBC, Grace is graduating in June.
Oh, nice. God, your daughter's already graduating college.
Yes, your niece is graduating college, old man.
God, we're getting old. Yeah, so
No, I've been old.
There's Kyle talking to Gleason, you know, Patty Gleason. So he was thinking about, you know, he had some choices. Patty Gleason's been around for a while. He's a weapon. And you know, he wanted to play for the Shield, man. You know, he was going to be he can play more paintball that way because, you know, play with the Bears, you got to go to the East Coast. So I like that pick for the Ironmen. But that's the thing, right? They're trying to find that starting 5. Bears kind of are already there.
Well, we thought they were.
But they're getting beat up by the Mlkings. So we got a game and we got a blowout here. So it's definitely edging towards blowout with the way the Mlkings are playing this field.
And like you talked about earlier, it's not going to get easier for the Bears, right? This is their easiest team in the bracket, right?
Yeah. So it's only going to get harder from here on out. Big shout out to Carbon Paintball, sponsor of the Golden Barrel, and Spot Insurance, the new thing this year. If you're playing at this event, you pay your registration fee, and you get insurance to cover an potential injury that happens out here. So big shout out to them. That's the new yellow bunker, in case people were wondering.
It makes sense now that you mention it. The spot.
So we'll see if the Mlkings can continue this beatdown of the Brooklyn Bears, or will the Brooklyn Bears answer?
I bet Brooklyn Bears goes offensive this game.
Bears on your screen right now on the blue side. Split screen, breakout. Mlkings on the red side. Ooh, LJ Woodley checking himself. Taking a hard bounce as he gets into the spot bunker.
It looks like the Bears are putting a little more emphasis on taking those key spots, Matty. They're in Snake 1. They're in the Snake Wedge. Mlkings are kind of sitting back, playing a little defensively. Probably think because they're up on points, they can just sit back and shoot their guns, especially with the way the Bears have been playing. If you're up on points and they're not coming at you.
Still almost 10 minutes left to go, though. 9:43.
So we still got a game. Woodley taking a bounce earlier and now getting shot out of that spot bunker. That's the key bunker over here on this side of the field. That's the one you use to transition.
Kyle Berry just got taken out trying to get out of that back center, too. So a couple gunfight wins for the Bears. Signs of life.
Yeah, and I don't like the Kings breakout here because they've got no one to stop. They got the wing, right? But they've got 3 guys in front of the wing. If they figure out that he's the only guy this way, they just start flooding down this side of the field. The Bears are making a crucial mistake here, Matt. They've got their first snake attacker on the inside defensive cut, right? They're down by points. They're up on bodies. What should he be doing, Matt?
Looking to push forward.
Looking to push forward, and then the guy behind him fills that spot and does the same job, right, Matt?
Absolutely. I mean, there's 3 bodies this way. One at the wedge, and now Altimore's going to get into the snake.
It's the old thing where you have 3 guys playing defensively against a guy who's not going forward because he's all by himself.
But I think the issue is that they're getting chewed up over here on the snake side, so he's thinking, okay, just step 1, stay alive. You know, remember back when this was happening to us, we would say something like, all right, guys, just get to your bunkers and stay alive for 45 seconds.
Just hide, bro.
Just literally hide for 45 seconds and let's find it again. Because we're having big problems with survivability. And so, yeah, the Bears having problems with survivability, but looking good in this one. Still 5 bodies alive, and now Altimore is going to get into the snake. They are going to be losing body there on the D side.
No penalty, luckily. So 4 on 3 advantage here for the Bears. Kings are now in snake 1.
The Kings do have a decent crossfield spread, though.
Yeah. The
Pappas is on the island, though.
What the Bears blew there, Matty, was the containment on the snake side. They let them fill out to the snake 1. And they have to come out there, right? So if you don't let them come out there, eventually they're going to come out, you're going to get that free kill if you have the discipline. If you don't have the discipline, that guy fills back in, and now he can lock down your D side.
So the Kings will be very content to have a long point in this one.
And you can see these two guys, right? That cross right there between the wing and the snake one.
4-point lead. There's when we started this one, 10 minutes left, right? With that 4-point lead, even if you drop, looks like Navarro taking the walk. And then now trying to push the issue with Frank Tomas is going to run down Mingo. And we're going to see a minor penalty, and that's going to be assessed. And I don't know if there was a body left to pull.
There was not.
So that's a mistake. Penalty on Mingo. He's coming off shaking his head in frustration because now they potentially could be starting with 4. So now a 3-point lead, but Bears might be on a power play with about 7.5 minutes to go. That could change the narrative of this game here if the Bears can pick it up and stay alive.
It could be. It could. Again, though, because I think it's the first weekend, I don't think guys understand the field well enough to understand that if there's no one on the snake side of the field and you're in the spot can and that wing over here on the snake side, you can completely contain this side of the field and the team can never move back out into the snake side again, and people are just dropping that discipline.
In the pits with the Mlkings. The good old, hey, play like it's 0-0. Let's go win the next point.
That's right. Talk
from Kyle Berry, who's leader on that team.
5-on-5, Matty. Ironman is snake one. Looking outside, though, not looking inside. So he might be looking to go forward.
Oh, they're going to lose Nick Sloviak from the tower.
Damian Ryan releases to that crucial wing position. He's going to block the snake attack.
Patty Gleason relentless over there on the D side. Fights into D3.
It seems like the Ironmen are getting more offense on their D side than they are on the snake side.
Yeah, Patty, in the spins that Patty's been, I mean, he's been up in D3 or D4 very quickly.
Just can't capitalize off of it.
Tie ball game right now, 2-2.
With Level having that center tower shut down the D side, if they can get any other guy helping them out, it's going to be real hard for Patty to get up that D side. Level's in real good spots here, Matty. These are kind of the 5 control positions you want to be in. Maybe if that can on the Dorito side can either go forward into that Dorito or out to the corner, it's even better.
Yeah, they don't have a lead to protect, so they're really going to have to hope that the Ironmen run through a gap right now. They look pretty tucked into their spots. Did just make a move into D1. Oh, they do get a kill, so yeah, they get the shot on Nita.
And Nita was looking inside defensively instead of going forward. Would like to see him attack more. Because now, if Damian Ryan does a good job of pumping the outside of that yellow can / the inside of the snake insert bunker, it gets almost impossible for them to get back into the snake. And if the snake is the most crucial bunker on the field and you can keep the other team out of it, it gives you a slight advantage.
Corey Field gets out of that back center into the can
to help out. Field? That guy was fast.
And he's going to get into D1, try to give his teammate from Thunder both coming over.
I think Corey got that kill across field from that Dorito field in the snake one there.
Well, Corey Field is still a hell of a shot.
Yep.
That's why he can still play at this level.
A lot of people
veteran.
A lot of people are like, oh, Corey Field is just a pretty face. And he's not just a pretty face. I mean, that's a big part of what he brings to the game. But he's also a good communicator, good shooter on the break, and almost never dies early. And if you add that to the fact that he has a pretty face, he's a good pickup for any team.
Yeah, so tense moments right now. Down to 1:30 here. Tie game. Might be heading to an overtime point here.
Call it, Matty. Call it right now. If someone scores in 1:30, who's it going to be?
That's almost impossible to call. I don't know. I mean, Gleason's at D4. Level's got a body in D3. Sorry, they're both at D3. Level doesn't have any help over there, though, so he's on an island. Corey Fields there. I think we'll see overtime. That's what I think is going to happen. Danny's thinking about it.
Danny wants to go.
Danny backing up off that spot.
He's going to try to back up, get some momentum, go through the gap, I think.
Under a minute. And Danny's going to try to get through the gap, and it looks like he makes it clean.
Super athletic of Danny. He went outside, jumped over, ducked under, and then crawled through. Now Danny pushing exactly what he needs to do here. You called it right, Matt. I think it is going to be Level. It's going to press the advantage here. At least try to win the point, not just sit back and hope they don't lose.
Down to 45, or now 37 seconds.
Oh, it's going to be close. Damian Ryan's got the ball.
I think we're going to see an overtime point.
Yeah, I think you're right.
There's too much at stake for both these teams.
Yeah.
They had for what they're trying to do, poor performances at the first event. So, and well, they do get a kill on Politi. So that's a tough death for Justin Politi right now with just 18 seconds to go. Might open the door for the Ironmen here. They're going to send it,
Look,
and
no
they're going to
one's
come down.
watching.
He gets through. Hughes takes out Damian Ryan. Shoots Danny Schoenauer. A little 3-pack here to steal this win for Hughes. Actually, a 4-pack to close for Clay Hughes.
And you know why that happened? Because Damian Ryan was in the wing looking inside of the field instead of playing defensively over here like we've been talking about for the first 2 matches.
Well,
Damian Ryan was out of position, turned his gun the opposite way. Big mistake there in discipline.
Tell you what, we do have $500 to give out for the move of the prelims, courtesy of Pate Smith Law.
That was probably...
And that's the best thing we've seen in 2 sets
We're
so
only
far.
2 matches in, but that was an amazing
We got a lot of paintball to play today, but that's the #1 contender for the money in the prelims.
And that just shows you, man, if you don't come out here and understand how the field plays and the positions play, it doesn't matter how good you are, right? If you're in the spot and you look the other way, someone who might not be as good as you can make a big move.
When I talked to Mike Paxson and Shane Pestana yesterday, and I said, all right, gun to your head, pick your starting 5 right now. They were both sitting there with each other and unanimously synchronized at the same time. They both, first name out of their mouth was Clay. Both of them, and they looked at each other like, all right. Yeah, let's listen in real quick.
Fun when Shane gets pumped. Shane Pax gets pumped, there's a lot of energy.
Awesome move by Clay Hughes.
Awesome move by Clay Hughes, but really poor gameplay by Level.
Yeah, they didn't. Hey, man, you got to watch the zones, right?
They were in position to never even let Clay get into the snake, and they just dropped the gap, let him get the snake, and then they were in position to keep him from going forward, dropped the zone, and he ran down and shot 4 of them. When they watch this, I hope they see the same thing we see and make those corrections.
So jumping into this next point, still 3-point lead for the Mlkings. Bears pushing the issue. They
have to now, right?
They get Joey Altimore here into the 50-yard line, snake side.
Now, if everyone on the Kings is doing what CJ was telling everybody on the New York to do and just hiding from that 50 snake, the 50 snake's not going to be able to get any kills. The only thing I don't like here is Mlkings have not put a guy in the wedge, and he's really the only guy that consistently keeps that 50 snake from wrapping. Donaldson now goes in snake 1, gets a bounce going in there, gets in there live though, looks inside, and again, there's no one to stop the snake player from the Bears from going forward and shooting the tower in the center, the back center, and then the can on the Dorito side, Matt.
A lot more time left in this one.
Now he makes the move into the wedge, and he can stop him there from that wedge. That was a good move.
6:20 to go. Cardo Donaldson at the insert bunker, snake side. Altimore in front of him. No real help for Altimore though. There's no one up with him. Now he's going to get his brother to come in behind him.
Yeah, and that's kind of the rub over here, Matt. You've got to have at least one expendable snake eye, and then you've got to have another guy that can fill and become that next expendable snake eye. And a lot of teams will only put one guy that into that spot. Both teams playing that wing, but the Bears releasing from the wing, going to the center rocket as they push into the 50 Dorito side.
Well, it looks like Kappa's going to take the walk from that back corner bunker on the D side as Joey gets behind his brother.
That's a bad death for Kappas over there. He's got to stay alive in that situation. They drop another one.
Yeah, now pushing the issue here. The Bears going to get that 50 brick.
Yeah, I just think that it's a little bit too late for the Bears, right? They're now kind of figuring out how to play. And they've got 5 minutes left, so they could certainly come back. But they're going to have to be able to apply pressure like this, get 3 players up to these 50-yard lines, and dig Mlkings out.
Bears have a lot of work to do here in 5 minutes, Rich. They're still down by 3, but it's looking really good for them here in this one.
Communicating really well. They know exactly where the bodies are.
They're past the 50 on the D side, and here comes the hammer about to drop as they run through, take out Donaldson, and clean run, no penalty assessed. Still back center with Kyle Berry, trying to hold the line.
Yeah, Kyle's wheeling and dealing.
Another body coming off here for the Bears, so both Altimores have walked off here on the snake side, and it might just be up to that D side. Oh, they're going to lose another body in the center as well, too. I think that's Sester taking the walk.
And now both players for the Bears are on the D side, which is going to help Kyle Berry.
And Kyle Berry's throwing up a wall of paint here. Finally does get picked off, but eating up a little bit of time off that clock.
And they don't know that he was the last guy, so they're still looking. So they're going to burn up another 10 or 15 seconds trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, they're still just...
Better look there from the Bears.
Trying to figure it out here. I mean, hey, look, the Bears are getting it done, right? It's the scrappy paintball we've seen out of them before. Frank getting checked out. Thumbs up from the ref means the point is good. They did it with just those 2 bodies left alive. So Kyle Berry was eating the Altimores up over here from that back center. You can see Frank in frustration saying, how do we throw all those bodies away, man? I'm past the 50 over here. We need to tighten things up. The New Yorkers love to yell at each other.
Dude, they do. You can never tell if they're playing good or bad.
Let's listen in real quick. Oh, TJ Denner helping out the boys from the Brooklyn Bears in there. It's nice of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, tense moments here. Signs of life from the Bears. Mlkings put up 4 unanswered. Bears 2 in a row. 2-point spread currently. Not a ton of time left, but enough for the Bears to try to tie this one up, take it to overtime. And they are definitely pumped up right now. This is what you want to see. I mean, they're yelling at each other a little bit because they're from New York. That's just how they roll.
It's in their blood.
But if I was coaching the Bears, this is what I want to see in their pits. Yeah, so now for the Mlkings, I mean, what would you be if you're coaching them right now for this breakout? You're up by 2. Things are not going your way all of a sudden. We're losing some bodies.
I go offense. They expect us to just cross it up, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to go hard offense, but I'm also going to back that. I'm going to go 2 offensive and 3 guys that are in those 3 cuts in the 20 Dorito, the center tower, and the snake 1. Those guys are going to be on the cuts. The other guys are going to be attacking. We're going to get to the key positions and then stop. 50 snake, and then force the Bears to try to push into that. Bears are going to stand and break out 4 this way, 1 Dorito side. 4 plus 1 is what most teams are going to be doing out here, Matty. 4 guys this way, middle this way, 1 guy Dorito side. Oh, Mlkings drop 1 but shoot 1. 4 on 4 here, Matty.
Yeah, 4 on 4 with a little under 4 minutes to go. Bears able to get a body out wide.
And it's
snake
the
side.
The baby Dorito as well, Matt.
Yeah,
they're out on both takes.
Out into D2, and they're going to crawl into the snake, so they're pushing the issue. Exactly what they need to do.
Bears get another player out to that Dorito corner, Matt. That's a real good bunker over there. It's mostly a defensive bunker, but it's a strong bunker because you can shoot the inside cut. You can support the Dorito in front of you. 4 on 4. Mlkings now move up to that Dorito 4.
Yeah, Mlkings,
Navarro.
they listen to you a little bit. I mean, they're
Finally
not playing on their heels right now, taking some ground east side. They get to the wedge, outside bunker, or inside insert bunker here, snake side.
Yeah, I like Navarro in that spot. He can keep the Bears from wrapping that 50.
And if you're joining us on YouTube or Facebook, please head on over to Go Sports. Watch the rest of these battles going down to 2023 NXL Lone Star Major. Best paintball players in the world here at event number 2. So Altamore trying to figure out how to break this open here. Still, again, they need 2 to tie. 3 minutes to work with. Doesn't need to get crazy quite yet. It's got about maybe another minute to get creative before he's going to have to start forcing the issue over here. That wedge is just posted on him, though, Rich. So he's going to do a little tactical retreat.
Yeah. And what he needs to do is swing the guy that's in the can behind him, Matty, out to the snake 1 and have that guy help him put that guy in so that the 2 of them can work together on the wedge. If it's just a one-on-one battle with the wedge, it's just a 50-50 gunfight. Either guy can do it, and the wedge can kind of check off and just shoot the cut. So if the second guy comes back and the 2 of them work together, they can get that wedge out of there. But in a one-on-one situation, the wedge has the advantage because he's up on his feet shooting down into the snake. Oh, that's going to hurt him.
Tough death right there.
Baltimore taking the walk.
Yeah, and he knows it. Eyes to the sky in frustration.
Navarro's doing exactly what he shouldn't do there. He switches now, looking Dorito side, is going to allow the spot can guy to move out to the snake side. Navarro is in the containment position there. They got the key kill on the snake, and instead of containing that side and catching the player going from the spot can into the insert, he lets him fill all the way to the snake, and now that guy can go down there and shoot them again. Now Navarro has to switch back and contend with the guy in the snake. He wouldn't have had to do that if he'd have been on the cut to begin with. Bears lose another body, but so do the Kings. Kings with 3, I believe Bears with 2.
Oh, they're going to lose Navarro. Yeah, so Kyle Berry was taking the walk. Navarro also going to take the walk.
2 on 2, Matty.
It's getting interesting here.
2 on 1,
30
Matty.
seconds left to go.
Bears advantage, 2 on 1.
Got to push the issue here. They need 2 just to tie. I mean, even getting the 1 and the loss with just a 1-point loss, Rich, still decent. But
based on how the match started, for sure. Here goes Frank.
Frank running right at the snake insert. You're going to get it done here. So they're going to have about a minute to work with to score 1 point. Tough on a field like this.
No pressure. No pressure. Point approved. Man, I'm excited to watch paintball this week.
Yeah, it's so many compelling stories out here, and there's so many upsets now too in the past couple seasons. So just kind of never really know what we're gonna see out
Well, and
when we watch these teams play.
That we've been talking a little off the air about it and kind of been going on. There's some really, really good teams in this league. Houston Heat, X Factor, a couple other ones that haven't been kind of performing at the level that we're used to them performing, you know? And it's going to be interesting to see which one of those teams can kind of climb their way back onto the top, you know?
Yeah, I mean, so Dynasty's won 7 of the last 13 events. Other than that, it's getting pretty interesting. Obviously, Damage with 2 second places in a row. Impact won 2 last year. Heat's overdue for a win.
X Factor.
X Factor is overdue for a win.
There's 4 teams that are all kind of overdue for a win, and they're all kind of competing against each other for that win.
But the Hurricanes and the Bears are 7 and 8 right now. And then you have Infamous at 9th, Energy Elite 10th. It's just getting hyper competitive. And then what is Diesel going to do here at this event? They had a blowout at the first one. Yeah, they had 1 win. But, and they beat Revel by 3, but they lost to the Ironmen, they lost to the Hurricanes, and they lost to Heat. They finished with a -2. That's a superstar roster. Obviously, long-term play there for Mark Johnson.
Amount of money in that program as well.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, it's just getting crazy out here. So we will see.
It's just getting more and more competitive, which I love,
and more fun to watch.
Yeah,
Which is what you said to start this conversation out. Absolutely.
More enjoyable.
Can the Bears get it done here? Tie this game up, send it to overtime.
Listen, don't tell management, but I would probably do this for free.
I'll just pretend I didn't hear that.
I love the view that we get from up here, too. Like, the guys are always like, hey, what can you see up there? I'm like, I can see everything. I'm like, this is so much better than being on the ground. Other than the 50 snake, obviously, and the 50 wedge, which I think there's a wedge there, I'm not sure. But the rest of the field I can see really well. All right, Maddie, what are we doing?
Well, if you're the Bears, it's not with a minute. You don't have to send the Flying V Reckless Attack. But you're pretty close.
I don't know if Flying V works on this field.
I don't think so. I don't know either.
There's not that classic run through the middle where you could just block one side or the other.
Yeah, there's lots of blockers in the middle from that straight run. And then the Mlkings is just hold fast. Also, because we're under a minute, don't get a major penalty.
Don't get any penalty.
Because if a team gets a major, that immediately will stop the time and spot the point to your opponent.
Which is pretty much the match.
So Mlkings sending their starting 5 out. Good to see Kappas getting a nod here for the start. Veteran on the Mlkings.
If the Kings can get a breakout like they got that first or second point, they're going to be fine.
Send Elias Rodriguez with some wheels out there. He looked good at the first event.
10 seconds.
Navarro's been pretty much in every single point. Looks like Kyle Berry and Carter Donaldson. So that's the boys are going to be trying to hold the line here as the Bears going to send it. So
snake on the break, I like that.
Sakaguchi catching a hard bounce, trying to double up the God Bunker, and then on some staggered attacks. Looks like a couple bodies coming off, though, for the Mlkings. They're losing 3 bodies.
2-on-5, Matt. Mlkings down to 1 body left alive in the snake. The Bears are going to win this point, Matt.
Brooklyn Bears go down by 4, and then they step up. And what a completely different second half of this game. Sakaguchi coming through to stitch up Donaldson. And then
smart,
still with 40 seconds left.
Hit the bell buzzer. That was real smart.
Now I'm wondering if are they gonna chill for 35 seconds and send it straight to overtime, or are they gonna want to play a 30-second point? I would rather just go straight to overtime.
Yeah.
Oh nope, they want to play the 30-second point.
Yeah, they were screaming back and forth to the pit. They were trying to figure it out.
Well, I mean, the tough thing though is that if you have 30 seconds left. I mean, we saw the Ironmen steal one in this set too, so. I think we're probably still going to see an overtime point. I think neither team's going to want to make a big mistake here.
Yeah, I agree.
To throw it
Both
away.
Teams will go out and hide.
But that means you will get a little bit of an extra break, right? So you go out, most likely a point won't be scored. Occasionally we do see teams steal wins in this situation. It's happened quite a bit throughout the years. So it looks like Antetomaso playing every single point out there.
It also gives the coaches a little extra time to put together what they want to do in that next overtime point, right? So, like, hey, just go out there, suck this up. I'll figure out what we're going to do.
Yeah, tense moments in the pits right now. God, what a crazy game, though, Rich. So
it looked like it was going to be all Kings.
Yeah, the Kings are just completely obliterating the snake side for the Bears and go up 4 unanswered points. Then the Bears wake up. Everyone starts staying alive for the most part. And then they score 4 unanswered.
Maybe the Bears are just slow starters.
trying to sucker them
Take
into
a little
the
while
trap.
to get the mojo
No,
going.
they just plan it that way. You know, say we're just gonna make
Guys,
it as hard on
let's-
ourselves as
yeah.
possible.
Let's get them overconfident, and then we'll cut their legs out at the beginning of the match.
So a minute to go before the start of what could be the last point. Probably going to see an overtime point, though. So, yeah, if we got a tie in regulation, we'll head to a 5-minute overtime point. If we can't find a winner in 5 minutes, then we will head to one-on-ones to decide it, as there are no ties in pro paintball.
30 seconds.
Mlkings sending out the same line.
Seconds.
Well, you know, if Campus is going Dorito side, they're probably not pushing the Dorito side. That's kind of more their hold.
Yeah, but he's been playing pretty much every single point.
Yeah. Navarro's probably going to release that wing.
Yeah, Navarro's been doing a good job of getting up to the wing. They got to get Donaldson into the snake.
Yeah.
If you want to score 30-ish second point, we'll see how much time's left in regulation. 24, actually, so they send it. You were wrong. Kappas sends it all the way to D4 off the break and makes it clean. Oh, and a bomb blows off.
Yeah, Donaldson ran to the snake and shot 3 guys.
Yeah, well, Kappas also went to D4, so, major penalty. Minor be assessed. Pulling out a couple bodies right now for the Kings. That is going to probably send it to overtime. Nope, they do eat up. I don't know, they have bodies left alive. Not enough time. They did the work. There was that one body left alive. Altamore was still alive in the back center, so we are heading to an overtime point. That was.
Looked like it was going to go.
This has been a crazy game. Very interesting how this one shook out. Really was looking good for the Mlkings for a second, as both Donaldson and Kappas get into a really good spot, chew up the Bears. I looked over at the Mlkings, saw those moves, and I looked back. 3 bodies were walking up.
I was just watching the fact that Donaldson was running and shooting through the snake, and he didn't dip down. I'm like, what is he seeing? And I look back, and there's 2 dudes peeling off from this side and 1 guy from the center. I'm like, oh, that's what he's seeing. He's seeing his paint blow up on everybody.
Momentum shifting back to the Kings a bit, as they needed about maybe, I don't know, it was a 2-on-1, so if they had another 20 seconds or so, probably would have won this game. But that is not the way that it shook out, so we will throw 5 minutes on the board and head into an overtime point.
I love that look, though, running and shooting to that snake. You know, and the confidence, like, yeah, if you got it, go. If you see the guns, just dip.
Well, Donaldson's fast, and he's a small target, so you got the ideal build for a first attacker in the snake.
Yep.
Bears, I like the energy in the pit.
Well, you know what they say, Matt. If you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly. I'm not sure how that relates, but Bears taking the field. We'll be starting from the blue side. 5-minute point.
30 seconds.
So 30 seconds to go here. Is it going to be the Bears, Kings? I don't know. Who you got, Rich?
I'm still thinking Kappas going to that D4. I would have lost probably $100 on that. That was a bad read. He suckered me.
They tricked you.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
He's still got some speed.
Oh, yeah, he's got speed. He's you know, some people are wrestlers and some people are boxers, right? So some people are offensive and defensive. He usually falls into that kind of defensive set.
Yeah, but he's consistent at that.
For sure.
You know?
No,
So he doesn't die early a lot.
It's not a knock.
Yeah.
We need, like, Neil Eberle was an amazing paintball player, right? He was always alive, always, you know, doing what we needed.
Well, they are going to send, as we go into overtime, they're going to send Donaldson into the snake again, and it's going to be a 5-on-4 here in favor of the Mlkings. Donaldson's going to hit the deck, crawl right up to the 50. Mlkings still doubling up that back center.
Yep. And the Bears don't have anybody in that wedge, Matt. So right now, Donaldson can go to the 50. He can wrap and shoot the tower in the back and shoot the home.
Yeah, they got him. I mean, they're putting pressure on him barely from that back center, but not ideal. Yeah, and so he's feeling nothing, and he goes all the way onto the Bears side. Donaldson probably going to be able to win this one here if he can make some shots real quick. Ooh, and he does.
Like
He gets that shot inside.
He's going to shoot the center. He's going to shoot the back center, just like I said.
Oh, but then Donaldson gets taken out as the Bears going to try to reposition. They do lose 2 more as they get a body out to the back corner bunker, but it's not looking good for him right now. 4-on-2 situation here in favor of the Kings. The Kings don't have anybody out wide right now, though.
Yeah, but the problem is the Bears players, Altamore, is just looking inside playing defensively. He gets 2 guys shot next to him. The guy in front of him dies, and he just stays there on the defensive cut looking across the field. Down on bodies, that's not the way you're going to win on this field. Kings have 4. Am I missing 1 Bears, or is it 2-on-4?
2-on-4.
Okay. So, and the Bears are in good position. The Dorito corner and the snake one, those are really good cross positions. Like, if you do want to sit there and cross up a bunch of guys, those are great spots to do it. I just don't think it should be your attackers that are doing that. Mlkings need to find out where the two bodies are, where the cross is. The move is to get into the snake because he can come all the way into the snake, put pressure on the corner, and then go release and get the snake one. Or snake corner, whatever we're calling it.
Well,
Don't think the Kings know the count or where the bodies
I
are
think,
yet.
well, they dropped that. Bears dropped the body first one quick, and then they shot 2 in a row. I think you're right, though. I don't know if they know that it is a 2-on-4. They need to get somebody out wide on that D side. Kappas is looking like he wants to go. Navarro's up at the stand-up wedge, but he's posted up on the snake as if there's somebody in the snake.
Well, and back center for the Kings is completely out of play right now, right? Back center is playing defense against when they're in a 4-on-2 and the other team isn't pushing. So you don't need to be on defense, you need to be on offense.
I think you're right. They don't know the count. They don't know the count and the positions.
Or how to play paintball.
Well, I mean, I think they're getting good at that. But the thing, but the situation is it's still 2-on-4.
Yeah.
So regardless of whether you
In
know the
overtime.
count or not, yeah, they still have 2 minutes and 40 seconds to work with.
Well, and if you're in a spot and no one's shot at you for a long time, that's a really good indication that, hey, man, maybe I should go somewhere, do something different. Kyle Berry now gets out of back center, fills the spot can, which takes the pressure off of the player in front of him, allows him to fill into the snake. So 3 now on the snake side for the Kings. Navarro in the wing, Berry in the can. Pappas over and Dorito 1 standing up tall, shooting across. Kyle now filling in snake side. I think they're starting to figure out that they're way up on bodies. So do you hear that? Where's the third body?
Yep.
So they know that they shot 2, but they actually shot 3. So they're just trying to be safe and find the third body.
Yeah. Well, they're loading up here with Kyle Berry diving in the snake, loading up on the snake side. Kappas is on an island. He's got to stay alive over there in D1.
Now, Matt, you've only watched 2 matches out here today, but where's the one spot that can keep Kyle Berry from going forward in the snake and keep him from winning this match?
The wedge.
The wedge looking which way?
Towards the snake.
That's amazing, Matt. You got a really good read on that. I think you're going to see teams out here playing this and not playing that way.
And considering this is my first time,
Yeah,
you know.
right.
So, yeah, again, they got 1:30 to work with here, but I'll tell you what, if somehow the Kings can't find a way to win this one with a 4-on-2 for basically 3.5 minutes,
then
then
that's on, especially after going up like 3-0 in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
That's on them. But again, no one can stop Kyle Berry, right? It's the Dorito corner and the snake 1, so all Berry has to do is crawl all the way into their snake, either pop up and put the corner in or kill the corner and then run the snake.
Well, he's trying to get creative, and he's not feeling much pressure, so
No pressure. No one on the Kings has any pressure.
Yeah.
And that's the indication, like, hey, they don't know where we're at. We're way up on bodies. How do we make this work, right?
yeah, definitely giving the Bears some chances to work somebody out in a gunfight.
We're less than a minute
Yeah.
now, Matt.
Yeah, dude, we're at
Jesus.
52 seconds.
If Kings blow this is completely on them, man.
Well, Barry's in a good spot. Try to drop the hammer. He's going to have to go coast to coast, and he
just what I
does.
said. Just what I said.
And so Kyle Berry figured it out, makes the move, and drops the hammer on Altimore. Just that one body left alive does pinch out Berry, but it's not going to matter as Navarro, with 32 seconds, going to get checked out by his boy Kappas. Puerto Rican's getting it done here. Going to hit that buzzer.
Puerto Rican power, baby.
Solidify the win for Mlkings.
Nice little match there, back and forth.
It was looking a little scary for the Mlkings because the Bears woke up, but they finally get the win. So 1 point, a win and a +1 on the margin here for the Mlkings. Got an interesting set coming up next. Edmonton Impact, one of the best teams in the world, about to take the field. Currently ranked 3rd overall. They won 2 in a row last year, and they're going to be playing Energy Elite, who warmed up against X Factor, but unfortunately for them, warmed up in a loss. X Factor retaking the field. And they're going to take out on Aftermath, who shut out the Saints. Both those teams sitting at 1-1 here. As we're kicking things off, day 1 of the 2023 Lone Star Major. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you're joining us on YouTube or Facebook, please head on over to GoSports.com to watch the rest of these brutal paintball battles, the best 20 teams in the world throwing down. I'm Matty Marshall with Rich Telford. We'll be right back.